Hey, y'all. How is everybody today? Beautiful out here. I mean, it's not too hot yet. I think high is supposed to be like, well, the paper said 77, but the news said 81. So both of them's doable. Not bad. Not bad. But it's real quiet here. I mean, we don't have the wind, which we've been getting used to that. The wind's been something else this year. I felt like I was in Texas half the time. But but right now, I'd say upper 70s, mid 70s, and no wind. Yeah, no wind at all, hardly. So feels pretty good. Yeah, we got a few clouds, but not much. So how's everybody doing today? Oh, yes, Bill, we're just a little bit behind, I think. Yeah, yeah. I said he's here. And I said he's tying up loose ends, that kind of thing. So
He's what?
tying up loose ends.
Who?
You.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Where's my phone? Here it is.
Uh, Run 5856. Everybody's over at the RV channel. Hey, Ford guy, how are you? And I said, we're doing pretty good. And Jerry Harris, hey. Mark Ryan, greetings from Iowa. Closing on our village's home next Monday. Looking forward to joining you. Cool. I said, just come on down. You know, I don't know much about Iowa. I think I've been through there a couple times, but
There's more there than just corn.
That's what they say about Indiana.
Well, our neighbor went there, remember? For Pioneer Seeds?
Oh, yeah, that's where they moved, but they're back in Indiana now.
I know, but that's where he went.
Yeah,
He went out there.
Yeah, but yeah, I like the villages better. Golf Breeze says, hi, Skip and Sue. Uh, KM's here. Joanne Klein. Sunny Northeast Ohio. Well, like I said, I'm hoping you guys are having pretty decent weather too.
Had the snow up there like 2 or 3 days ago.
Yeah, and then all at once, you know, I think Chicago is supposed to get like 70 or something today. That's by our paper. Like I said, our paper's a little bit, you know, but I like it that they show the weather all over the country for here, you know, for people that everybody here comes from somewhere else, and that way you can see what the weather's like at home. So let's see. Frank, the puppy's doing great. He's getting there on the training part.
Who?
And the puppy, Buddy.
Yeah. Either he's a slow learner or I just got a stupid dog.
No, he knows when he goes out to pee. He just don't know not to do it in the house. But he's getting better. I said you just have to keep taking him out. You let him out of the cage and let him wander. You can't do that.
I take him out back where he can wander back there.
Well,
but every time I do that, he pees.
Yeah, that's what I said, but he doesn't know to do it.
Yeah, but the thing that ticks me off is when I bring him back in the house, he'll go pee again on the floor. And he was just out there.
Yeah, well, I know that in the morning, he's got to go 3 times before I take him back in. If I let him go once and then take him back in, which I was prone to do because I take him in, put him in the crate, and then go take my walk. But I know that he goes 3 times. So if I take him in for that 3rd time, he's going to pee on the floor. So I've learned his habits, but Skip hadn't quite got it yet. But yeah, he doesn't know not to do it in the house. He knows to do it outside. And I said, I give him, give him a treat every time, tell him good boy, that kind of thing. I said, I just don't know what to do about him not doing it in the house. So.
And he still bites. He still chews.
Vic.
I don't think he's as bad at biting as he was.
Well,
but he still bites.
Yeah, he still bites, and I've got to get his nails clipped because that's killing me more than anything. Everybody that he meets.
She tried to make a dog appointment 5 weeks ago, and we still haven't got the appointment yet.
I've had the appointment for 3 weeks.
Well, I'm just saying.
He's got to have another shot.
You can't make an appointment and take him in a couple of days later and get a dog. If you come down here in the wintertime, this is average.
You can if you don't have a particular person. I wanted a particular person. That's why it took so long. But he can't have it until after his next shot. His last shot is the 17th, and then he goes in the 22nd. Because I wanted Tony to do him. Because Tony did my other dog, Katie, and she was so loving to her. And so I'm hoping, she's that way with Buddy. She may get perturbed with him
But
because,
like I say, you gotta let her know if this is the first time he's ever been to a dog.
yeah.
He will not like any of it.
Well, and Katie, Katie wasn't a puppy. She was used to that kind of thing. So, Vic says hello from the Sky Princess in the middle of the Atlantic. They must be cruising today. Cool.
Where's he going? Been in the middle of the Atlantic. Usually you're going to England or something.
Well, it says from the Sky Princess, so I don't know where they go to. Frank Lowe, morning, Skip and Sue, and Evelise Velez, hello. And yeah, that is awesome, Beck. I'm
I
glad
don't know
you
who
got
that guy over there is that mows his yard.
Yeah.
He needs to fire him. Look at that. That yard has never looked like that since that guy bought it.
Yeah.
I see weeds and tall grass everywhere.
I haven't seen anybody over there lately, so.
Yeah, the garage door was just up.
Well, I mean, the mowers. I haven't seen the
Oh,
mowers.
no, I haven't seen anybody over there either. That's what
Yeah.
I said. Whoever does that, he needs to fire him.
Yeah. And Vic says his Wi-Fi is sketchy right now. Well,
huh?
Vic says his Wi-Fi is sketchy right now.
Oh, well,
but
you're
yeah.
in the middle of the Atlantic, Vic.
Oh, but what, it'd be wonderful, this kind of weather, and be on a cruise. That sounds cool. Yeah. Jerry says, I'm watching you and Skip on my TV with the sound down and typing comments on my phone.
Turn the sound down because you don't want to hear none of my shit.
That's the way to do it. If you want to make comments, you got to use the phone. You can't do that on the TV. So, yeah, if you want to make a comment, that's the way to do it. Ron Pass?
What's he making comments about if he can't hear nothing? Just think about it.
Said to turn it down, not off.
Oh, my glasses are dirty again.
And Ron Pass says, I'm here. I'm sitting on my front porch. That's the way to do it.
I'm sitting on my front porch.
One of my neighbors that had after she seen what we had here, she wanted a front porch also. And we're all Midwesterners, we like the front porch thing. And so she had one put in, and the only thing is they couldn't put the awning over hers, but her house faces a different direction, so it's not a big issue with her. Just like enclosing her lanai, she didn't, because she faces a different direction. But they love the front porch, and I said, yeah, it's just nothing like it. I just.
I'm waiting for the villages to come out with a neighborhood called the Villages of Victoria. And they'll have houses that have like a kind of a Victorian look with a nice front porch on it. Yeah. Maybe some smaller homes have a little small wraparound. Yeah. But I'm just waiting for them to come out with that.
Well, give them the idea.
That'll go over like crazy.
Spanish Springs was a stucco, so.
Well, they built that village up there by Caroline next to us that resembled Key West.
Yeah.
And it sold out like that.
Yeah, with the metal roofs, yeah.
And today you go in there, it's going to cost you $1 or $2 to get one of them houses.
Yeah, and I'm surprised it didn't carry on with that. I don't know what the problem was with that, but I figured they would do more of those, but I haven't seen.
Yeah, they got metal roofs up there and things like that. It looks really nice. I like it.
Oh, yeah. Well, and it's Caroline on the water, so, they're not really only one side of it, I think.
Is that what that neighborhood's called, Caroline on the water?
I think so, yeah.
And I like it.
There is one water on one side.
We lived there for a while and didn't even know that place was even back there. Somebody told us about it. Says, have you been to the neighborhood over here? Oh, it's just a lovely neighborhood. And I said, where? And they told me. We took a golf cart ride one day and just kind of went over there. I'm like, oh, my God, how did I not know this was back here?
Yeah. Griff says, greetings from Hershey, Pennsylvania. 59 degrees going up to a blazing 68.
Hey, run over to WrestleMania's house and tell him I said hi.
Yeah. Tell me, we're really glad it's warming up. The family man says here in Connecticut, where March came in like a lamb, let's hope it doesn't get out like a lion.
It will if you got basketball sectionals coming up. Well, actually, they already had their snowstorm for basketball sectionals.
Yeah. And this year's been unusual. So hopefully, like I said, we're supposed to get an early spring because some from the groundhog is supposed to be an early spring. So hopefully that'll hold true.
I think Indiana had one. Not a storm, but they had like 2 or 3 inches.
Yeah. Kevin says there's a lot of people on the RV channel. Oh, okay. Are we broadcasting on both channels?
Not as far as I know.
Huh. Okay.
But if it is, that's fine. I don't care.
Well, you can watch videos, yeah.
StreamYard lets me do that. I can go to different channels and I can broadcast to several channels at the same time, like Facebook, RV channel, I could even broadcast really on WrestleMania's channel if I wanted to,
Yeah.
if you give me access to do that. But I just don't do StreamYard very well on these iPads. Because every time I try to do a StreamYard on an iPad, it always tells me I have to go to Safari to bring up. I go through all the process of setting it up, and when I finally go to hit the on-air button, it'll say, "Please go to Safari to set this up." After doing all that, and I get so frustrated with it, I just do it this way. I'd rather do it on StreamYard because I can set it up a week early, and that has a reminder on there saying this live stream will come up on this date. That's what I did with WNL.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminds people. But I don't know. I got thinking about, you know what? The same people come to our show, so there's no really reminding them. They know, and I really kind of depend on these people to tell their friends, hey, go to here or go there. You'd be surprised here that people I've talked to, and I say, well, you can always follow us on YouTube. YouTube, what's that? They don't have no idea what this is at all.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with old people that have no knowledge of this at all. That's what's frustrating about doing it.
Yeah. On the other hand, we are old people.
But I know how to do it. I know how to do it.
But we're on
I feel like I'm dealing with Dad, but Dad didn't even know how to use the cell phone, a flip cell phone.
That's alienating.
Huh?
I said that's alienating.
I'm not alienating. I'm just saying that how frustrating was it when we go there to call Dad and find her not home, and so I'll call him and we hear the phone ringing in his house on the kitchen table because this meant nothing to him. It meant nothing to him. And all the different things that we had got for him to try to help him in his life because he'd become deaf. So we got the telephone that had the light that would blink, and then had a screen that when you talk to him, you could read it on here, not his phone, but there's a screen on the phone. You guys know what I'm talking about, handicap stuff. He just could not adapt to any of it.
Well, okay.
I mean, well, what?
Well, that doesn't mean everybody can't. I mean,
you get to a certain age, and I think they just don't want to. He didn't want to, really. He said, well, there goes that light blinking again. We told him 100 times what that meant. He just didn't want to know.
Yeah, that's
what you can do right there.
Yeah, Nancy, that's who Nancy has. Tell him. Like I said, he's just been at her house.
That's a woman, ain't it?
I don't have any idea.
I can't imagine a man doing this.
Really?
It's not a man job.
Well, I think she said it was a guy.
Look where they're parked. Look where he's parked.
Yeah.
Hopefully nobody comes around that corner.
Yeah, well, maybe not used to dragging a trailer with him, but anyhow.
Got an air conditioning on top of that, too.
Well, because they do it inside the trailer.
I just think that's a brilliant idea.
The mobile vet does the same thing.
I tell you what else I think would be a brilliant idea if somebody would make a portable bar come to driveway parties. You don't think that would be a brilliant idea?
Well,
you could hire this guy for, say, a couple $100 to come out here, and then he could just sell drinks on the street. He'd have to get a special permit, I'm sure, to do that. But I just think I'd be able to call this guy, hey, we're having drinks. Don't bring anything. We got Bob coming over with his portable bar.
Well, I said, do you do that, or do you get drinks free because everybody brings a bottle?
Papa Pineapples has a truck that he turned into like a food truck or whatever you want to call them, taco stand or whatever. And he goes to these different driveway parties, I think, when they invite him over, and he sets up out in the street where people can buy food. Brilliant idea. Yeah. He said, matter of fact, he sent me an email here about a week ago saying they was having a party at some place in Hawkins, I think. He said, you should come over. He said, you could get a lot of video. And I would love to do that, but I wasn't invited. I mean, he's a business out in the street, and technically I don't think he should be inviting me to come to somebody's party. So I didn't.
As long as you're out in the street. Isn't that what you're
know I can video from the street, but if I'm out there with cameras, people, because I'm not invited to the party, wouldn't you say, well, who is that guy? Because I wasn't invited.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Leslie says, greetings from On Top of the World. And hello, Mary Beth. Phil Beard says, no email notice today.
I didn't get one either, Phil. I'm the one doing this on my channel, and I don't think I get notified at all anymore.
Yeah, Jerry Harris said the same thing. She didn't get one, but she was ready.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. I give up trying to figure it out because, listen, this is my channel. And if I don't even get notified, you guys ain't got a chance.
Yeah. Ricky P says, hello, everyone. Rizzo says, hey, Skip and Sue. Hey, Rizzo, when you coming back, bub?
when it gets warm. Right now,
Well, no, I think they're only there till like the middle of, or the end of this month. Then they're coming back. So we missed you. Shantae Richburg. Some small dogs never completely potty trained. That's what I was told. That scares me to death.
I don't know. Maggie was.
Well, yeah, she said some. So yeah, and because the vet
Oh
actually
yeah,
told me
I
that
think
too.
I got one of them sums.
No.
He's a very slow learner.
Yeah, but he'll get it because, like I said, he's picked up a few things that I
She
was
has high
surprised.
hopes he'll get it. I have high hopes that he'll never get it.
He's picked up some things that I was surprised about. So I think,
Like
you know,
what?
well, and I said the sit,
The
the
what?
stay, sit.
He doesn't sit and stay.
He does when I tell him to.
He does when you show him food.
That's how you train them.
Oh, I see.
Oh my! It's called positive training.
Uh-huh.
Anyhow, let's see. Glenn Flynn, hello, watching from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Well, hey, Wisconsin, how's the weather there? I mean, I looked at the weather map, and it looked like it was pretty decent everywhere. I mean, even in North Dakota, they were having it 50s. So, listen, I think maybe Tuesday of next week, I think we're going to get some rain, maybe Sunday or Monday, and then Tuesday's supposed to be back down in the 60s, but just for a day or two. And then we're going back, we're 80s all week this week. So I think Tuesday we're going to be in the 60s just for a couple days, and then back to 80s again. That's our weather. But I read a funny thing in the paper today, and they said January was warmer than it usually is. And I don't know where they're getting their information from, but I said, I live here, and I'm telling you, January was not warmer. So
I don't know either.
yeah.
I sometimes wonder about these so-called political polls and statistics about like weather and all this kind of traffic. And I sometimes wonder when we live here, when we see what's going on, and we read these things, and I'm kind of like, where did they get all this stuff? Because
Well,
I didn't see
it
any
could
of
be
that.
because we didn't have the deep freeze. We normally get a few days of that, and we didn't have that this year. So that may be what they're talking about. But otherwise, it was not warmer to me. So
And everybody that lives here said that. And now they got cold. It just seems like when it dropped down, say below 60,
mm-hmm.
that's cold here. But we had several nights where it was in the 30s and 40s, and it seems like it lasted longer.
40s, and we didn't get very many 30s.
No,
That's what surprised me.
It generally would go down, like say on Monday it'd be down cold, Tuesday it'd be cold, Wednesday back to 70.
Yeah.
And this year it seemed like it's got down cold on say on Monday. It lasted all the way through the weekend before it go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Let's see. Matthew O'Malley says, "Hey guys, sorry I've been missing in action. Hope all is well. Everything's doing great, Matthew. We missed you. You should have been here. We didn't have anything important going on, but and actually we're normally not here in March.
Normally.
Normally we're in Texas in March, and we
I was
decided
thinking about that the other day. I said,
Yeah.
right now I should be in Texas on Aransas Island or something.
That's what I thought the other day when the wind was blowing. I thought, well, it feels like Texas. But we didn't because of Buddy. I mean, he has to pee every 20 minutes, and that'd be a long trip.
That, and I'm concerned about traveling. Every time he gets in the car, he throws up.
That's right. The motion, it just doesn't do right with him. But he doesn't go a whole lot. So I think, eventually he'll get used to that, I think. But yeah, every time he gets in the car, he throws up. Even in his chair. He did it when he was sitting on my lap. And then I've got a doggy chair in the back, and every time I take him down to the vet, which is just down in Magnolia, and he throws up every time. So I don't. If it continues, I'll ask the vet if there's something I can give him for it. But
I was telling people the other day on maybe chat or maybe on a video. I don't remember, but it seems like that somebody was talking about starting a YouTube channel or whatever, and when any advice or something like that. I generally don't give advice because every YouTube channel is different. It's all a personality thing. And I said, well, one thing you got to get used to is criticism, because you're going to find that people are all telling you what you need to do on your channel because they seem to know better, even though they don't have one. I said, you have to learn to ignore most of that and just continue on your trip, whatever it is and wherever it's going to go. And then the other one was, I said, channels are used a lot. You're going to find that your reliable subscribers, your viewers, the people that really, really like your personality and you and your information, when they buy a house down here, you're gonna learn these names as time goes on. You'll learn the names every time you go live or in the comments. Like we had Rizzo. I mean, they've been here for a long time, and then someday you're gonna go. I haven't seen this person in a long time. What happened to them? That's the other part of it. When they buy a home here, they don't need you anymore,
Yeah.
and they just disappear.
It's like Matthew. He's been missing for a while, but
Yeah,
he's
no
back.
goodbyes, no kiss my ass, no nothing. They're just gone. What's the guy's name that used to live in California? Used to pick on Linda all the time, but he was in another country trying to get his information to come back to the United States.
Oh, yeah. I know
What was
who
his
you're talking
name?
about.
And he was here for the longest time.
Yeah,
When was the last?
Gringo Loco.
Gringo Loco. When was the last time you saw him?
I seen him on another channel.
On another channel. See, that's what happens. That's my complaint.
Kyle Reed says, hello, and it is a beautiful day. Cindy said the notification said would be on RV channel. So she got a notification, but it said it would be on the RV channel. That's why so many people was on the RV channel. Well, everybody go to the RV channel and tell them we're here. We're not on the RV channel.
They're going to say, we're not broadcasted there, are we? I don't know.
I don't think so. She just said that's what the notification said. Patricia Zeller says, hi, Sue and Skip. New to your channel. We are from Louisville, Kentucky. Love watching your show. Well, we're just old hillbillies. We're from Indiana, but we're the same. We figure Indiana, Kentucky, Missouri. That's all in that area there. And I say we're not touting anything brilliant here. I mean, you all know if you have a question, we'll try to answer it. And if not, we've got a ton of subscribers here that know more than we do that they could probably help you out. So, let's see.
If you're a Patreon member, as a matter of fact, I have a private Discord there, and all my Patreon members go to that Discord all day. It's 24/7. They go there all day and half the night sometimes, and they ask questions back and forth, give comments about things.
It's cute. The Mini Cooper convertible is really cute. Yeah, and then like I said, that the Discord, there may not be anybody on there. It's like Facebook. There may not be anybody on there, but if you put a wave or a hi or something like that, then eventually there probably will be. And I said, we're getting more and more people to the Discord channel.
Yeah, I'm seeing new people on there like every day anymore.
Oh, and I wanted to say thank you to Kathy Plum. And I've only talked to her on the Discord channel. But last week, when we were doing porch setting, I mentioned when we went to Tarpon Springs, that's where I got my olive oil soap. And I like the olive oil soap because I'm kind of dry and flaky in this heat. And but that's the only place I've found it around here. A lot of places have goat milk soap, but it's not the same. And she sent me a package of olive oil soap. Bless your heart, I really, and I was out, so I love it. Thank you so much, Kathy. And let's see. Rizzo says it's 79, but it feels like 85 in the Keys. It's been in the mid-70s early in the morning.
I have a thought.
Yeah.
Maybe on the next porch setting, I ought to do it on the RV channel and not here, just to see how many people are actually there.
It's just too much can go wrong. I just wouldn't. And Shantae Whisper says,
She's always been like this her whole life. I'm the adventurous guy. I'm the guy that says, hey, let's take our car and go down that road and see where it goes.
Yeah, every 50 years we do that.
Yeah, and she says, well, it looks like it's muddy back there and we could get stuck.
I said, when's the last time we went anywhere?
My whole life, I've been the adventurous one. You're the one that always says no.
I do have common sense.
I have never had a problem with buying a business that I knew absolutely nothing about.
That's true. Let's see. Leslie says, goodbye, time for imaging. Oh, she must have some medical stuff going on. Yeah, doctor stuff going on. Yeah. Let's see. Overjoyed says, I have some neighbors in their 80s that are technologically challenged. They rely on calling their adult children to shop online for them. Yes.
Yeah.
And at one time we did that too.
See, and this is the problem I have with this channel, is you have to know your audience. That's what they always tell me. You have to know your audience, and then you have to, here's what I've been told, you have to play down to them, because that's why they're there. And I'm always talking like they understand exactly what I'm talking about and what I'm doing. And then you come to find out they don't really know. So I do videos once in a while saying, here's how you go to my Patreon account to become a member, because they don't know how to do it, even though the button's right there. So I did that.
Yeah.
And as soon as I done that, I ended up getting like an extra 5 or 6 members. So I don't mind doing it, but the truth is it doesn't help the channel out in the analytics, because when you do a video where you get 5,000 views in, say, 48 hours, and YouTube keeps an eye on this, that means they'll recommend that video to other people, which could be a potential new subscriber. But when I do a video of a how-to, I'll call it a how-to video like that, and you can go look at it. It's on there now. 200 views in a week. That's nothing. And that takes my analytics and goes right like that. And that's why I really don't like doing them, but I will.
Rizzo says we have water bar tiki huts in the Keys. I think those are so cool.
What?
Water bar tiki huts in the Keys.
Oh, I love them.
Oh yeah, they are so cool.
Especially when they're right next to the water. You can fall. It's fun to sit there and watch the entertainment when people fall in.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Jerry, and Phil, I got some work for you. See if you can find, because somebody, and my little brother asked me what percentage of the villages is snowbirds, and the only information I can find is like from 2019. That's the latest I could find, and I know there's more than that.
I don't think they keep those statistics.
Well, somebody is, because it was on there at one time, and I said it was 2019. So somewhere along the line, you can find out, and it's just an estimate. You know, it's a percentage point. So
the only way you can find out, and it would be an estimate, is find out who's getting homestead on their taxes and who's not. You can only homestead your permanent resident.
Yeah.
So if you find out that, I've always been told the average ratio was 65-35. Don't know where that come from, but I've always been told
that. Average for 2019 said 30%. Now, you know, back then the population was a lot smaller too. So that's why I said I wanted to find something that was more recent, maybe 2023. They probably don't have 2024 out yet, but I know they're out there. I just wasn't able to find it. But you guys do great research, so I'm pretty sure you can find it. Harley John says, "Hey, Skippy."
Hey.
Just poke the bear. I love it. Rizzo says they're coming back April 5th.
Who's over there in that white car?
Where?
The house for sale.
It's
is that a realtor?
A realtor, yeah.
You know, I meant to really be pushing that, because there's been a realtor over there since they put it up for sale.
Right.
Since that open house a week ago.
They've had 4 open houses.
I'm just saying, since they had that first open house, there's been a realtor over there every day. They're not doing anything. They're just over there.
Well, I said, you don't get up until late. So, you know, in the morning.
I'm here right now. There he is.
In the morning.
And there's nobody over there.
There's been a guy over there working. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah.
Oh. I thought they had everything done. That's why it was.
Everything is done.
But I thought that's why they had the open house.
Well,
it was all done.
They're, you know, I mean, they redid the landscape. They're redoing things.
What's it doing in the house?
Well, I'm not in the house. I don't know. I'm just saying there was somebody in there.
I know what I would do if it was my house. Curb appeal means everything.
And that's why they re-landscaped.
I'd wash the roof.
Oh, well, maybe I've not even thought of that
yet. To the average person from the north that don't know nothing down here, that doesn't mean anything. But the average person would look at that and go, what's causing that? Is that mold?
Yeah.
That's what they would do. And so I'd have the roof washed.
Well, and that may be next on their agenda. They're doing things, you know, a little bit at a time. From what I understand, and that's not a realtor that's familiar with this area. So,
why would you go with a? Never mind. I'm starting conversations that has no answer. I was going to say, why would you hire a realtor that's not familiar with this area?
I will explain to you later. Okay.
You're going to explain? Oh, is it a friend?
No. Rose K says, hi, Skip and Sue, on spring break and can watch live. Love your live streams and replays. Skip, my cousin had a 50th birthday party with a mobile humidor and bourbon trailer on Long Island. Wow.
Yeah, sounds like a party to me.
Yeah, that sounds like some party. Vic says he's been helping elderly ladies install the cruise app on their phones. Yeah, because some people have, they've never had a reason to do this stuff. And I got to tell you, when I first started doing this, I thought it was, I mean, he'd done it for a while, and I thought it was creepy, really, to let, I mean, basically total strangers into your life like this, and we talk more than we should sometimes. We say stuff that we shouldn't, and but like
You have to remember, we do not put on acts like some of the YouTube channels here do, and I'm not going to mention names. We don't script anything like a lot of them do, and I'm not going to mention names. I'm going to say this, then they shut. You say that, I'll say this. You say that,
and they're going to see me roll my eyes.
Well, as you will say, and then they go edit it where it looks like it's all in one take, but it's not.
Yes,
We don't do that. You hear the mistakes, you'll hear the disagreements, you'll hear it in my voice when I get upset about something, and I think that's okay myself because that's the way I think that's the way normal life is.
Jerry says Skip doesn't get a beer unless he's sitting.
I don't what?
You don't get a beer unless you're sitting.
Oh, well, I get a beer all the time.
Well, you're not with your cookies.
Oh no, yeah, I haven't. I got up late today. I didn't get up till like 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
That's really not late. It's late for you, but that's kind of normal for me. For Monday and Tuesday, just to let you guys know how it is for Wednesday. Monday and Tuesday is actually Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Sunday's the day that I go through the news. And by the way, I don't go looking for the news. I don't report the news. I'm just reading you the news from thevillagesnews.com. You can all go there and look at it yourself. And I pick out what I think is, for every day of the week, I just pick out one or two stories that I think is relevant to the villages or the surrounding area. And I read it. And then I put everything away and I'm done. And then Monday, I start editing the first half of the news. You can tell by the background. I have three sections: the intro, and then the first half of news, and then the last half of the news will be a whole different background. And that's what I do. And so by Wednesday today, I'm done with that. And so sometimes I'm in it till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And so when I do that, I actually sleep in the other bedroom, because otherwise, if I go in our bedroom, first of all, as soon as I go open the door, Buddy gets up and barks at me in the middle of the night, and it wakes her up. And so I just go to the other room. It doesn't bother anybody. And so, but we're done. The news is done.
Patrick says, huh? Oh, it's her host. Patrick says, hi guys, I'm at work watching. I wonder if my wife Melanie is watching at home. Well, let's hear from you, Melanie. If you're watching, let us know. William Rizzo says, food is how my wife trained me. It works. Yeah, and
She
Buddy,
give you a doggy treat?
Buddy likes the little bacon treats, and they're just little, so I can get a bunch of them in my pocket.
Speaking of that, when was the last time you was at the post office? Check out our post office mailbox.
In Wildwood? It's been a week or two. I haven't been anywhere but the grocery store.
Let me ask a dumb question, because I don't remember.
Okay.
Have you been up there, say, 2 weeks ago and bring home a box for me? Somebody sent me an email a couple weeks ago saying, hey, did you get my box yet? I sent you something. And I said, well, Sue hasn't been at the post office yet. I'll let you know. And I just don't remember if he brought me that box or not, because I wanted to thank him for whatever it was that I got. I don't even remember. I don't think I did.
I don't think so, but I could do that today. But yeah, I haven't been. I haven't been for a while, actually, because you said something about using the car to go out to the camper, so I haven't went anywhere but the grocery store the last 2 weeks. Overjoy says, last blast of cool air coming next week. I'll miss it. I bet you will, Overjoy.
Man, the lizards are out today. They're everywhere. I see the males fighting the males.
Oh, yeah. Patrick Dowling says, greetings from Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. Well, greetings, Patrick. And I said, how's the weather up there? And Vic says a text notification did come through on his phone. What did it say? Go to the RV channel, Vic? That's what somebody's telling me, and we didn't know anything about it. So, but somebody said there was 60 people on the RV channel waiting on us. So, and we were kind of late getting on this one. Okay.
Says I'm eating Buddy's cookies. It's okay because Buddy's not out here. I left him in the house.
Buddy's taking his nap. This is his nap time, and he's pretty regular scheduled.
He's probably mad because he's not out here.
Yeah. Shante Richburg says neuroplasticity is the issue regarding the ability to embrace new technologies to grow and embrace change. Yeah, and I think there's to some point, people don't want to bother with it. You know, I mean, there's I can't say it's a certain age because my mom was using the computer, and when his mom wouldn't even use a cell phone. So you know, it's not actually the age thing. It's just there is a point where people just don't want to mess with stuff. So. But that's the name of it, neuroplasticity. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if I ever get that way. Maybe I will. I can't say. I'm not 80 yet. But since I turned 70, I have gotten low on the patience level on stupid shit.
Since you turned 70?
Well, I mean, I'm to the point where I say something anymore. I'm getting to be that old man that'll actually say something without even thinking.
Yeah.
You know, when you see somebody parked in the middle of the road, you want to just stop and go, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah.
It's a road.
Tammy Ferguson says, "Hey, Glenn Flynn, 52 in Green Bay." Well, still, that's pretty darn good weather for March in Green Bay.
How much?
52.
52.
Yeah.
Didn't they have snow a couple weeks ago or a week ago?
Yeah, like I said, everybody did, and then
Isn't spring soon on the calendar? Spring calendar?
Yeah.
When?
I'm trying to remember.
Like a week or two? It's usually around spring break.
Yeah.
That's why they call it spring break.
Yeah, and then spring break here right now. That's why I had an article about.
Did you see where they're trying to run the spring breakers out of Miami? They told them last year that if you don't quiet down, things are going to change, and they did.
Yeah, I want to remind people about the new golf cart rules. A lot of people have grandkids down here right now.
Oh yeah,
I've seen a ton of them, and the new golf cart rules are a lot different. I mean, you're not allowed anymore to drive just being 14.
Nope.
If you're 18, you know they expect a driver's license. Under 18, they want
16
some kind
and
of
over
ID.
have to have a driver's license or a beginner's. And if they have a beginner's, they have to have a 21-year-old or older, just like in a car.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same rules. Otherwise, if your grandkid gets caught running around and he has no license, no beginners, nobody next to him, your golf cart's going to get towed or it's going to get impounded and you're not going to like it and you're going to get a ticket. So I'm just saying, just know what the rules are. Don't thumb your nose to it.
Right. And I said, and it is different from last year when the kids were down here. So, and I said that law was enacted, I think, in October. So I said it's different this year than what it was last year. So just keep an eye on that, because if you're used to just saying, you know, take the golf cart, run uptown for me, they can't do that anymore. So
well, you can't really blame the county for this because we brought it upon ourselves.
It's the whole state. It's not just the county. So.
Well, that is true, but still, we brought it upon ourselves. How many times have we seen it? Where kids in our own neighborhood here, there'd be 4 or 5 kids, 10 years old, driving around our neighborhood in a golf cart. They're standing on the back of it. And I don't know if people think that your neighborhood streets are somehow some kind of a fun track, but that's a public road out there.
Yeah. And
you just can't do that.
Overjoyed says she wants to move up north, just not sure how far north, waiting for housing prices
I would
to drop.
say New York City. That's where you want to go.
No, I wouldn't want to go farther north than what we are here because we have the climate that we have. We do get some cold, but we also have the warm. So, and you're used to South Florida.
Is she talking about going north in Florida?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Or north in South Carolina?
She's in South Florida right now. So. I think that's where she's at, yeah.
Well, I know what South Florida is. I've been down there several times. One thing is I don't speak the language down there, pun intended. I would say central part of Florida, where we're at right here, is a good climate-controlled area. We have a little cooler weather in the winter, but it still gets hot and steamy in the summer.
I wouldn't mind the Fort Myers area. I think as far as the temperature goes, the landscaping is totally different.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere next to the ocean. Now, if you do, that's a good area. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
I just can't afford that hurricane insurance. And it's getting to the point around here, I'm wondering how much longer I'll be able to afford the house insurance in this area.
Yeah. And Florida does have a big problem with that right now. Yeah, Vic, I'm with you. So check out the big brain on Shante. Yeah, that was. I didn't know what that word was, and I said, but she explained it pretty good.
What's that?
The when Shante said the neuroplasticity is the issue. That's what they call it.
Wow, that's one of them $5 college
That's
words.
what Vic says.
I'd have
Well,
to
check out the
I'd
brain.
have to Google it once I figured out how to pronounce it.
Oh,
Oh,
Richard.
Patreon bloopers coming up on doing the news this Friday. I think it's Friday. It's on Patreon only.
Oh, cool.
Of some of the mistakes. Warning, trucker language.
Richard Brinson says hello from Cane Garden, enjoying lunch. Well, great, Richard. What are you having? I mean, we haven't had lunch yet, so we're kind of hungry.
I did. I had cookies.
Yeah, you had cookies.
Now I'll tell you today. I know what I want. I want I don't know what it's called.
Give me a clue.
Is it egg salad on toast? Is that what you make?
I can do tuna, egg. You know, anything.
What do you normally make?
I
Had
normally
eggs
make
in it. Had
tuna.
eggs in it.
Tuna salad.
Tuna salad with. I want that.
Okay, that's fine. But I will tell you the one thing I found out is the word is out that the new Panda over in Trailwinds is opening today. I
like Panda.
Well, I said I don't know how reliable that is, but that's what I was told, that the new Panda that they just built.
Who told you that?
I'm not telling you, but anyhow.
I mean, just unreliable.
Yeah, and Cane Gardens. We haven't been to Cane Gardens in a while, Richard.
By the way, Cane Gardens is owned by the developer. Just so you know.
Do you know that for a fact?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
He owns all of them. He just has certain rules that he has made with each district, saying, I guarantee this district will have a restaurant, a country club, blah, 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 blah. So, and to prove my point, when he didn't want Hacienda Country Club anymore, he offered it to that district to buy it. But he sets the price on it. That's the thing. They decided they weren't going to buy it for whatever the reasons was. He tears it down, builds houses on there. That can happen at any golf course here, even the executives. We own, as residents, we own none of that property. We just pay for the maintenance of that property. And at any given point, he can shut down any executive course and just build houses on it.
Yeah. Phil Dirge says, my mother-in-law is just down the street from the prison off 172.
You mean here?
I think she'll be out in a few months for good behavior.
Oh, got me on that one.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Coleman Prison down there.
Yeah.
By the way, that's a federal prison, the Coleman Prison.
Vic's asking Rizzo if he still pees outside.
Huh?
Vic's asking Rizzo if he still pees outside.
I do once in a while. Not here.
You did do it to teach the grandson, but yeah.
When I had my little farm, we'd go outside, let the dog out, and I'd take Jack out, and I'd say, come on, Jack, let's go pee. I'd say, let's go pee. I'd take him out back, and I'd pee behind a tree with him.
Yeah, that's how to train your dog.
That's how you train your dog.
Elaine says, I bought one of those dog back seat covers, waterproof and easy to clean, has straps to hook the back headrest, also strapped to front headrest so pets don't fall on the floor.
Is ours waterproof?
No, but I put him in the chair. Now, the one on the couch is.
Talking about the one in the car.
The one in?
The one he pukes in.
Yeah.
It's waterproof?
Yes. But she's talking about, I know what she's talking about. She's talking about a cover for the seat, so you don't have to put him in that chair. But yeah, he wouldn't stay still, for one. I would have to fasten him in somehow to keep him from falling, yeah. And that was the problem with it Katie or Maggie, that they always slept on the floor because they was afraid of falling.
Katie. She actually fell out of the seat once.
Yeah, and so from then on out, anytime the car was moving, she was on the floor.
She got on the floor, getting to bed. And I told her, I says, let's not distract that. I like the idea of her doing that. Until the day she died, you put the car in gear, to the floor she went, and she'd get into bed.
Yeah,
she would not get up till the car come to a stop.
Yeah.
And I was happy with that.
And I've got one of those seat covers actually on my sofa. I've got a regular cover over it, but then I put one of those that it just goes on the seats and on the arm and on the back, one of those kind of things. Because, Buddy's still a puppy. But anyhow.
Where's Kathy being a 603? I see Jerry made a comment.
I don't know.
Wanted to know if she was afraid of being on porch setting. Kathy being 603, Jerry Bell, I'm not camera ready. Oh, I mean about coming here? Yeah, she knows. She ain't too far down the road down there, and she knows where we're at. So anytime she wants to drop by, she can just drop by. See, there he is. I
Yeah.
told you they're over there. They're there.
Well, I know they're there.
But look
I've
at that yard.
seen them for the last 2 years. I just
Yeah,
haven't
but
seen
that
them.
guy is pretty persnickety, and I can't imagine him letting that
Well,
go
that's what
like
I
that.
haven't seen the yard people. That's what I meant. So I don't know. Uh, okay. Rizzo said only if I'm too lazy to climb the stairs. That's when he pees outside. James Reeves says greetings from Phoenix, Arizona. Well,
Phoenix,
hello, Arizona.
there's a hot box for you in the summertime. I remember
Yeah.
my first trip in Phoenix in a semi truck. I took a load of something out to a new Lowe's store they just built there, and we thought the air conditioner was going bad. And we made an appointment to go to Freightliner to have the air conditioner looked at. And we got out of the truck. Oh my God, I'll never forget it. That heat hit me from sitting in that truck. I thought I was going to pass out right there. It just bam. And I seen all this mist everywhere. And I'm looking around thinking, they got a water leak or something? What is all that? And of course, if you're not from there, you don't notice. The misters, all the stores had misters all around the sidewalk.
Yeah, they didn't have air conditioning. They had misters everywhere.
Yeah, and that's the first time I'd seen that.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, and Wrestler says Gringo Loco still comes to my channel, so there, haha.
aha.
Yeah, I have seen him on a few other channels. I think maybe he just got bored with us, Wrestler. It feels says Valley of the Sun.
I just
Yes.
feel so cheap and used.
Elaine Skursky says I had same notice half hour before for RV channel, none for regular channel. Huh. Well, we don't know what screwed up, but no, we didn't do it.
No,
Yeah, thank you, Jerry.
the only thing I can think of is last night on the iPad, I was messing with it to see if I could go to StreamYard on iPad, and I played with the thing, and it just looked like it was going to be too much stuff to do, and then I X'd it out. I just wonder somehow if that's stuck on there.
I don't know. That's what you do when you go playing on that stuff.
But I took it out. I even went to my YouTube channel to check it, and there was nothing there about a live thing, so I figured it was gone.
John and Jane says we moved to the villages and are still watching. We enjoy port setting. Well, thanks, John. John and Jane, we enjoy having y'all here. And
Well, John and Jane, you are strange because nobody does that.
Let's not say strange. Let's say different. Because usually when they move here, they don't need us anymore.
That's politically correct. You're different.
Well, strange sounds a little weird.
Does it?
Yes.
Well, Buddy's strange.
Well, Kathy B in the 603 says, hey, Skip and Sue, heading over to the Pinellas Pool to lounge for the afternoon. Sounds like a good idea. I haven't been able to go to the pool this year at all because Buddy whines when I leave. So, so I really haven't been able to do much. But I really need to do that. I'm getting that northern pale to me. Blaine Clark says, hello, guys. Love watching your show from Grantsville, Utah. It's snowing today. Ooh, Utah. They got snow.
I like it. Well, Utah has, I can't think of the name of it, Provo. It's just south of Salt Lake. And then if you go north of Salt Lake where the real scenic drives are, you'll see hills, mountains, and you'll see forest. And there's paths cut all through these forests, all up through them hills for snow skiers. I guess that's what you call them, snow skiers. And so they have a big income level there of snow skiers, cabins they rent, I suppose, apartments they rent for snow skiers. A lot of weekenders go up there and play. It's looks like to me, even back then, it looked like to me it was going to be kind of a high dollar district to live in.
Well, I don't know where Grantsville, Utah is, but
Well, here.
yeah, but it's snowing. Poor guy says, sorry for the short visit, but I have to go clean out the RV for our trip. Everyone have a great day. Where are you going, poor guy? We didn't get to go this month, so I said we'll travel along with you in our head. No. Let's see. Zindy G says Discord is a nice added benefit. You know, it is. I said there hasn't been a whole lot of people on there, but just in the last week we've picked up so many people, and I don't get on it a lot myself because I'm kind of busy during the day, and usually it's when I when I first get up in the morning, or in the evening when I finally settle down and Buddy takes a nap. Vicky Carney says, hi, Skip and Sue. I accepted my job at UF Leesburg, and I leave for Florida a week from Friday. Well, yay! Come on down.
For good or for vacation?
Well, she accepted the job at UF Florida.
Oh, okay.
She's coming down to work.
Well,
Leesburg.
UF Health, well, I was going to say that could be Leesburg, too.
Yep. That's where she said, Leesburg.
Yeah.
Well, good luck to you, kiddo. Come on down. I said, you'll love it down here. You will.
The thing about Discord, just so people understand, it's a 24/7 chat line, just like this is right here.
Mm-hmm.
But there's other things you can do there. You can post pictures. Phil B showed me how I can do a voice call. You can do a voice call. If you want to talk to me, we can set it up, and it's very, very simple, and we can just talk back and forth instead of doing all this chatting. Yeah. And you can do that with any other member that's on there. You can do voice calls and chat back and forth. You can do private voice calls. You'll learn all this as you're on there for a little while. You'll learn all these little details. And the thing is, it's 24/7, 7 days a week for all my members. It's a private channel. Nobody else can go there except my members. And as they drop out, I have to send out different things, but they're gone. And you don't have to worry about nobody harassing you in any way. Yeah. It's funny how it works, though, on my channel or my Discord. You can go there anytime you want and talk to anybody you want about anything you want. But it seems like what they do is they go on there and they'll ask a question or two. Like here lately, I've been getting a lot about wanting Sue's recipes for Cherry's Jubilee and chicken noodles. And they're all wanting her to put it on Discord. And that's what they do. They ask questions, they'll put it on Discord, and then they leave. And then as people get on there, they go back in the history and they start looking at all that stuff, and then they answer it a little bit at a time. I find that confusing to do it that way, but if you want to do it that way, that's fine. I don't really care.
Well, most of them I've asked for their email, and so I've emailed them personally. And it's just like
Kathy. When you haven't mailed it to Wise Christian Channel, he sent me at least 3 emails on Patreon now saying he's still waiting for his recipe.
Well, I must have hit the wrong button because I did send it to him, so I must have got his email wrong. I will do that again today. Janice Keller says, hi from John and Jan Keller. Hey, guys.
John and Jan Keller.
Yeah, and bye, Ford. I said, I don't know where you go, but have a nice trip. No. And Keys Time in the Village says, hey, they're skipping Sue. Sue, I missed my shopping trip. We will be back on 4/5. Yes, I'm missing mine, too. I haven't been anywhere in the last 3 weeks other than grocery and doctors. So I'm not doing much shopping. No. William says, what are you guys doing for St. Patrick's Day? Absolutely nothing. Although I do want to go to the parade this year, I think, on Sunday. Thursday and Friday, they're having St. Patrick's in Lake Sumter, in which, it's going to be very, very nice. Sunday, they're going to have it at Spanish Springs. And then, but before the festivities, they're going to have the parade, which starts at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. And I would love to see the parade. I think that's one that I've never seen before. But I don't like going by myself. So. Sundays, a lot of people aren't available on Sundays, so. Let's see. Rose Case's question, do the live streams and replays count as the same video?
What?
Do the live streams and the replay count as the same video?
It is the same video. Right now, it's a live stream because we are live. This is live. This is the time to ask any questions that you may want. If it's a replay, I put that thing on there. Usually I'll leave the original blue circle. I don't do that. YouTube does that. I'll leave that there for a day or two to let you know this is the new, because all the port settings look the same on the thumbnail. And but when after a day or two goes by, as soon as this is over, I'll go in and I'll put the I'll hit the button for monetization. Right now, you notice there's no commercials on this at all.
Right.
During the live stream, that's my gift to you for coming to it. I don't put any commercials on here at all. But as soon as we get done, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to turn monetization back on. And then I'll put the thumbnail on there later and it'll say replay at the top, I think, or port setting replay or something like that. Now, when you see that, you'll be able to see the comments on the side that you're doing right now. You'll see the comments, but you won't be able to comment on the live stream. You can make a comment at the bottom down there but that has nothing to do with the live stream itself.
Right.
So
Right.
just know, if you want to put a super chat or a super sticker or anything like that during the live stream, is the only time you can do that. Like right now is the only time you can do that. You cannot do that during a replay.
Yeah. And Family Man says, I heard there are teachers that are summer birds in Florida. Yes.
So
Yes, summer birds.
what does that mean?
Well, teachers are off for the summer.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, they come for the summer. And I said, a lot of them stay in the northern area, the Pensacola, Panama City, that area, because the temperature's a little bit more moderate there. But, yeah, they come to Florida when they have the time off if they don't find an extra job.
Yeah.
But,
And just to let you know, for those of you that don't know, in the summertime, you can rent houses here from the owner themselves that has houses to rent. In the summertime, they're like super, I'll say super cheap. A lot less than in the winter months. Lots. Like a house that'll cost you, say, $4,000 a month for January, February, and March. You might be able to rent it for, say, the month of July for at least half of that, maybe even less than that.
yeah. Yeah, and Rester wants to know if you're eating Buddy's biscuits.
Yeah. His biscuits.
Jenna Black says hello again. Urban Interface Living says, what time is your tea time?
My pee time?
Tea time.
My tea time?
Yeah. He doesn't golf anymore. Urban, he can't be out in the sun
I
anymore.
thought they were talking like British tea.
Oh.
I don't know.
Well, it says TEE, so I'm assuming he means golf.
I don't golf anymore. I can't get out in the sun anymore.
Yeah.
I've lost all my pigment. I guess that's part of getting old. I don't know, and it's a curse because when you got no pigment, there's all kinds of stuff you can't do, and getting in the sun is one of them. I mean, here I'm kind of in the light, but I'm not in the direct sunlight.
Right. Irving Clark says, living in Stone Creek, but enjoy your channel. Friday
Great.
is the best. Yes, the news is wonderful. I mean, like he said, he doesn't make the news. He reads the news.
You'd be surprised. I'm going to do a thing someday, maybe, I don't know, about the comments I get on the news. Like, I'm the news reporter. I'm the guy out there, It's just, I can't believe you're doing that news and you're not wearing a suit and tie.
Yeah.
Like, what do they think this is?
Yeah. And yes, Irving, thanks for coming by. I like Stone Creek or Stonecrest and Spruce Creek. I thought that's what it was, not Stone Creek. But we met a really one of our subscribers was J.C. Comer, and he come and visited us when we were at lunch over at Campo Azul, over on 27441 with Phil and his wife, and I said, but I don't never see him on here. I haven't seen him since we met him. I haven't seen him on here anymore. So I wanted to thank him a lot. Skip sent him a message to thank him. But and Phil says no good current stats on snowbirds that I could find. Yeah, that's with me. I couldn't find anything past 2019. So,
but I will tell you that the villa areas, I think, suck up most of the snowbirds. Not all, but most, because they're cheaper and they're easier to maintain. And if you're only going to be here 4 or 5 months out of the year, that's where they go. Patio villas, courtyard villas.
Mm-hmm. Kelly B says, hi, Skip and Sue. And Kathy B in the 603 says, tomorrow I'm meeting with my village sales agent to look at the Patio Villa Model Home Center. There are 4 models all furnished. Cool. They keep advertising in the paper about their new design center. Do you know that they were going to close the one uptown? I don't, I didn't know the object of doing that building to start with, other than they needed something to go in there after they built the building. Because always before they had like a street, what they call the Street of Dreams. And I said, and you would go into those homes and look, they'd have a whole block. And that's what they did before. Then when they built the design center, that was so you could pick out your stuff, like all your faucets, all your lighting, that kind of thing. And it gives people some ideas. But I guess they're going to close that, and this Street of Dreams is going to be the same as it was before. They're going to have a whole, I don't know if it's a block or 2 blocks or whatever, but you'll be able to go in those homes and see the different types and the different furnishings and things like that. So, I don't know why the change, but like I said, they do change every once in a while. Could be just because they're getting farther out.
Look how they've changed the selling process of houses compared to here where we're at. 100% different.
Mhm.
Totally different. Actually,
And
the way they're selling houses down there now, I wish that's the way they was doing it here.
yeah, yeah. Good luck, Kathy B. That's what William Rizzo has to say. And yeah, I know you'll find your perfect home, Kathy. Renee Gonzalez says, I got my lifestyle visit planned for June. We are so excited. Yeah, well, I said, bring an umbrella and
Checkbook.
and checkbook, and be aware, that the heat in June it'll be warm. So, but the lifestyle visit, I
look
think
at
that's the way to do things is a
We're
lifestyle
in
visit.
the middle of March and it's 80-some degrees. So you can use that to fast forward to June.
A couple days this week, it's going to get
You're going
into
to be in
90, I
the
think.
rainy season.
Yeah.
It'll rain every afternoon if things are normal, and it'll be hot and sticky.
But don't worry about the rain. It's not like your normal rain. In the summer, we have a rainy season, but it's not like your normal
It's like
rain.
a spring shower, but late in the afternoon.
Yeah, it was just, 15 minutes, it sprinkles and it's gone. So,
Normally. And this has been a weird winter.
True. So hopefully that's the way it'll be for you. So,
Kelly B. Hey, Kelly.
Okay. Let's see. Overjoyed says, I was looking at the homes and new sections of the villages. How long is the drive by car and golf cart? Some attractive prices on those. There are some good prices. And I couldn't understand somebody that the video that's get put up Monday of Judy's home that's for rent. Somebody said that they wouldn't pay over 140, and I thought,
you can buy a house trailer here for 140.
That's what I said. How long have these people been looking? Because they would know better if they were around here somewhere. So that was somebody from probably outside. And you could probably find something outside of here.
Just making. You get them all the time on here. I generally delete those kinds of comments because it just shows that it's a. I don't know if they're joking or just trying to be disrespectful. I don't know, but what are you trying to say? That she way overpaid on this house? I think Judy knows what she's doing here.
Yeah. Overjoyed says she meant from 466. From 466 to Dabney. How far do you think that is? How far a car ride?
You kidding me? I didn't even know where we were going down there.
Yeah, we took the scenic route when we went down because we was following the GPS.
466 or 466A?
She says 466.
That's way up by Lake Sumter.
Yeah. So that would be, it would be at least a half hour, if not more from there.
In a car.
Yeah.
In a golf cart, I don't know.
Yeah. Don't know. We've not been by golf cart, but by car, like I said, the way we went, we did go the long way around. It was at least 20 minutes for us. No. And
that was because we used Waze or Waze, whatever you call that, because the new streets down there aren't on the normal GPS yet. So I used Waze, and we just followed that. It got us there, but according to Judy, we went out of our way to get there. Yeah, because she was able to meet us at Sawgrass, just like that. Yeah. But what'd she say? Megason Road brought you in the backside? The Megason to Chandler, and we took Megason, then we took Bexley Trail. Bexley Trail, yeah. Yeah, we took Bexley Trail. So like I said, we took the long way around. Apparently we did. But I was surprised. I didn't realize there was that many houses already built there. But it's a full neighborhood, and I said it was nice. People living there. Yeah, there's a lot of people living there already, and I said, they're getting ready. What is it? They're advertising Moultrie Creek right now, and that's where they're going to start hitting on selling all those houses. They're still working on Lake Denham and Dabney. Moultrie Creek compared to Dunham. We're Dabney. I don't know. I'll get it. Dabney. I don't know. Moultrie Creek, I think, is going to be closer to Eastport. But like I said, they just now starting to bring some of those out in the paper anyhow. So as investment property, and don't take no advice from me. I'm telling you right up front now, in case you lose, I don't want to hear about it. But I got my eyes open. If you can buy whatever it is you can afford, if you can buy something, buy it as close to Eastport as possible, because those houses are the ones that go up in value faster than any of them around there. Yeah. And I'm surprised that they're taking so long to get those out. But that's what you do. They did with Sawgrass. They're saying everything. The real estate guy I knew in Indianapolis said that. You take the hub of whatever it is you're doing, you start from the outside, and you start selling property coming in. The closer you come to the center, the higher the prices is.
Yeah, but like I said, yeah. Anyhow, we really don't know our way around that much back there because somebody asked us on here when they was going to start selling Saddlebrook, and I think they've got the recreation center going.
Saddlebrook.
Yeah, that's another area down there. It's going to be near
Saddlebrook's up north. I know where Saddlebrook.
That's a golf course. They are going to have a
neighborhood called Saddlebrook. Well, that'll be confusing. Saddlebrook Golf Course up there. Saddlebrook neighborhood way down there.
Well, I didn't even know anything about it, and somebody on here.
They're running out of names.
Well, yeah, they went through all the realtors already.
We should call this neighborhood the Villages of Castroville, the Villages of Hitler, the Villages of. Well, I won't say anything. I was going to say Villages of Pumpkinhead.
Yeah, and Jerry says, it's very far away from Brownwood or Eastport. There's nothing around you. Not yet, but I'm sure there will be. I'm sure they have something in mind because they don't build willy-nilly around here. They know what they're doing. Well, I thought 150,000
is he
people.
talking about Dabney?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought so too, Jerry. I just thought, because that's where I asked her. I said, "Where's your local rec center?" Because I don't see anything around here, and I didn't know if it built it yet or not. And she said, "Well, it's just down the road." Well, and we went down the way she told us to go. Yeah, there it was, right there.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's completely built.
So that, if you saw the video where that rec center and walk trail and tennis courts and all that, that was like maybe 2 blocks down the road. You could walk down there.
Yeah. Okay. Kathy B in the 603 says, Renee, where are they doing lifestyle visits these days? Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Are they still
same place? As far as I know, they're still doing them down there next to Water Lily Rec Center. What's that place called? We went through there. It was new back then, but that's where they were putting lifestyle visitors, was in there. And I'm sure they're going to be moving those further.
Yeah, as they go further out, they'll move them. When they had them in.
Are they still using them over here by Brownwood?
I think if they've got any that aren't sold, but I think they're all sold.
Oh, they are sold?
Yeah. But I don't know. I think maybe they kept a couple.
Maybe.
Janet Black says she just had lightning rods installed in anticipation of summer. Yes, Florida is the lightning capital. I'm telling you. It really is.
Yep.
And when it does rain here, when we get the regular rains, the evening rains that we're talking about, and that usually doesn't happen until maybe August, September. When it rains, it's like, well, I'm not going to say what my mom would call it, but it's like just a flow of water. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
And you'll see rivers of water running down the street.
Yeah.
That's what all the retention ponds are about. That's where it all goes.
But like I said, everything here is built for that.
Yeah. And of all the hurricanes we've had here, we've never had a flooded street here, ever.
No.
Look at him. Oh, you missed him.
What?
This dragon.
Oh, okay. That's a snake.
I don't know if that's the same one that used to come up here. You just dropped something.
Oh, it was my paper. The wind blew it. It's something that I was going to ask you about, actually. Did you see this?
Probably on the news. I read about all this stuff on the news.
Okay.
I don't read too much about a lot of things, but one thing I do read about Wildwood giving new building permissions and things like that, because Wildwood's they're doing what they should be doing. They're making money for Wildwood, and whatever, if they can, make money in taxes for the future and stuff like that, that guarantees Wildwood's prosperity, that's what the commissioners are supposed to do. So I don't want to make it sound like I'm picking on the commissioners about that kind of thing. I'm not. But what I do when I report all these new areas being built, family areas, apartment buildings, I don't even know, rent-to-own places, all these places are building, it's always around the outer edges of the villages, and they're using the villages as a way of selling them places, saying, the village is right over there, all of the free entertainment's right over there, you can go right over there, and this is supposed to be a retirement community, and that's what I'm saying. They're encroaching on us to the point where I don't feel like this is a retirement community anymore.
Well, the reason I cut this out is because it has, since October of 2020, the Wildwood City Commission has given the green light for developers to proceed with nearly 1,875 single-family homes and about 4,000 multi-family apartments or townhomes throughout the city. Now think about that. That's, wow.
And that's just
almost 6,000.
That's just one little project they're working on. Look at all the ones that they've already passed that we don't talk about anymore.
Well, and this next one that they just approved is 215 single family. This is the Twisted Oaks. And I believe that's the one that's going to be across from Daryl's down 301.
Could be. There's so much building going. Twisted Oaks. I remember we went by there when I was doing some videos of the massive apartment buildings in the area.
Yeah.
And I pointed that out. I don't know if I showed that video or not because I looked at it. And even though it shows where Twisted Oaks is going to be, I just thought it was kind of boring, so I don't think I really showed it.
Okay, it says when complete, Twisted Oaks will be the largest mixed-use development in the city outside of the villages.
And it is. It's huge.
Yeah.
Because I remember saying, I have no idea how many acres that is. You can't look at a massive area where bulldozers and things are sitting around. And if you look at Dabney. When we went to Dabney, I started on one side where they were bulldozing, and we took pictures on one side of the car mostly. But this construction was on both sides of the road, all the way down there. You tell me, how many acres was that? I have no idea. It's just a massive amount. Like I've said before, I have never lived anywhere in my life where I've seen this amount of construction going on.
Yeah, it's really, really booming.
And as for a retirement community, I'll get back to one of my old sayings that I started saying years ago, and I kind of quit because people didn't like it. So how can you age restrict a city? Because that's what we're turning into as a city.
Yeah.
And this 55 plus thing, I think, can be taken away from you.
Oh, okay.
Somebody made a statement on one of the videos saying, why are people complaining about children living in the villages? I had to read that one because he says, in case you guys don't know, Florida says 20% of retirement communities can be under the age of 55. That's true. But what it doesn't tell you is here, our restrictions are people 19 years of age and older can live here full time. Anybody under 19, 30 days a year, you got to go. So they're talking about up north, and I don't know exactly where up north, that people are complaining about school buses coming into the neighborhood picking up children. That's strictly against our rules.
Yeah, okay. Hey, John Keller. Wrestler says, Skip, I've been trying to catch up on my editing. My YouTube members have early access to all of them. Tons on for my members now. Enjoy.
I've been watching them. Last one I seen, I think, gosh, he's been putting up a lot in the last 2 weeks.
That's what he said. He's been working on it.
Well, I'm a member, so I've
there.
seen all the ones that YouTubers haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
So I'm a member, so I've been watching them. Because he does a lot of tech stuff, like in a studio. I don't even know what all I watch now. I know a camera, wireless mics, a clamp-on desk thing that has USB and plugs in it, and some other stuff too. I can't even remember, but yeah, I've seen him a lot.
So drop by Wrestler's channel and take a look at his
links
videos.
Below. In the description box below is Wrestler's channel and Healthy Home Cooking. Click on it, go there, watch. I think you'll enjoy it. If you're a little techie, and he's got a lot of new stuff up. So if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, he can give you some great ideas about things to get at a reasonable cost.
Yeah. Kathy B in the 603 said there's a new trolley tour that goes to the Street of Dreams models located in Moultrie Creek. You don't need to have a sales agent with you. Cool. Yeah, that would. That's where you want to look. You know, is like I said, if they're taking the street where you can just roam down the road and go in. Yes. In every house to get an idea with it. And I said that's what I said. They're doing up. See, they didn't do that here. Well, they're doing away with the building up here and using that instead. So. Well, they've been doing that Street of Dreams for a while. They just didn't do it here. Yeah. Well, and I said they built that the building up there to show you all that stuff. And that's the corporate building. Well, and they're. That's the corporate offices. No. It's not the corporate offices. You've never been in there. If it's that gray building with the white or the red trim, dark red trim, that's the corporate offices. It's a huge building. End of the street. So it's not in that gray building? It's a design center. Oh. And I said, but they are going to close that, and they're probably going to move offices in there. Probably. But yeah, that's the way they're doing it now, is they're going back to the Street of Dreams. Yeah, that's not new, though. They had corporate offices and stuff up north for a long while there. We had to go turn our passes in when we rented our house up at Spanish Springs. Then they moved it down to across from Starbucks and Lake Sumter, which I think is still there upstairs. Yeah, the main building's right there. And then they built this one down here, and now with them moving further south,
they're just moving things
Yeah.
down.
I think I might take one of those trolley tours, Kathy, because uh, I've not been in a lot of the areas down there. Like I said, we went down and videoed the house for GDP, but that's the only time we've been in any of the houses down there. So I might take that trolley tour just to be nibby, keep up with what's going on down there. And let's see. John Keller says taking a break from trimming hedges and picking up palm seeds. Yeah, that's your deal in the spring around here. So our hedges just grow like crazy. He trimmed them last time, but a lot of times we have to have Chano come and do them because they just grow so quick. I can't believe it.
Marty says Wildwood promotes the town squares because it's funded by taxpayers. It is not exclusively for the villages. Never has been. None of our squares is for villagers. It's all that's private property. All that where the square actually is, where the bands are, the music's at, that square is owned by the developer, and that's how they can trespass you. All the buildings at all of them squares are owned by the developer, and so yeah, and the streets are all public. It's always been that way, funded by taxpayers. I'm not 100% sure on that. I know that we used to get, or the developer used to get, some kind of touristy money.
Yeah, the tourism,
Florida tourism.
gives them something. I don't
But
know
I
if
don't
it's
know
through
if that's
that.
taxpayer money. Is it?
Well, that all comes from taxes.
Well,
That's how
yeah,
Florida gives it.
eventually. Yeah,
But not
eventually.
just our taxes, everybody's
Yeah,
taxes.
I gotta say, I think eventually everything comes down to taking money out of our pockets. But
Yeah.
yeah, they got Florida tourism money. And last time I think there was a question about whether we was going to get any anymore, and it helps pay for the bands and the music and stuff like that.
Yeah. And
But
that's not the only money that they have, but that's a large part of it. And they didn't used to. But like I said, when they started handing out that money to everybody, well, of course, they got their share too.
yeah, and
Um,
that's what made everybody so angry about shutting down Katie Bell's. That was the one and only residents only club. There was dance floors, there was bars in there was uh, music in there. So if you didn't want to stand outside or anything like that, like me, I can't go to squares because of the sun and all that kind of thing. I could always go inside Katie Bell's, and then they decided to turn it into apartments.
yeah.
So it's just gone. And I just always felt like that was of the one building in this whole place. They couldn't left that alone.
Oh, Joy says we're looking at homes in Stone Creek or Spruce Creek, but some of the homes need too much and some look pretty outdated and dodgy. That was the impression that I got when I went in there. It just they
Where?
are building some
Where?
new ones.
Where?
Stonecrest and Spruce Creek.
I don't know if we ever went there.
I have. You haven't,
Oh.
but I have. And I said that's the impression I got. I went into their rec center, and it was like being in the old high school library. It wasn't. I'm used to this here, and
High
it kind
school
of ruins
library.
you.
Where was that at?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's
I
Stonecrest.
never went to no library.
I was saying, what do you know about what a library looks like? But
Not unless I got in trouble and they said, detention hall, library now.
but yeah, it just had that kind of feel to it. But like I said, I think they are building one of them. I'm not sure which one, but one of them they are building some new homes there. But like I said, I know very little about the community itself, other than it's close to us. And I think Stonecrest, I think, is Del Webb. I don't know about Spruce Creek. I don't know if they are or not. But Del Webb has a great reputation. He's the one that started the retirement communities.
All started in Arizona, if I remember right, Sun City.
Yeah, and
Del Webb was a buddy of Harold Schwartz,
yeah.
and that's why.
But now they have tons of Del Webb communities in Florida. I mean, a lot of them. Like I said, I just don't particularly know a lot about this one, other than I had the same feeling you did, kind of old and dated. So, okay. John Keller says John and Jan moved here and still watch sometimes. Well, we know you do, guys, and we're so glad to have you. He says, when we are not living the dream. Yeah, there's a lot of things to do around here. I said, this is something that we're here noon every Wednesday. But that doesn't mean you're not at lunch or golfing or playing pickleball or, there's a million things to do here. So there's not always time to watch us. So you can watch us on the replay. A lot of people do. And a lot of people still work. So, they can't watch us either.
Made.
Yeah.
You know what that means?
Yeah, somebody's getting a house clean.
Somebody getting ready to go back north. I've seen that a lot of places that they haul Molly Maid in here and they clean their house and everything up, and then 2 weeks later it'll be April 1st.
So
They're
far,
packing their stuff and going north.
since we started at noon, I've seen 3 housekeepers go by here.
Yeah,
so,
they're getting ready to go north.
Well, and I said, and Judy's comes the first of every month, so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but she don't have Molly Maid.
No, they said there's millions of them here. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you,
It's
Molly
like
Maid's,
yard mowers.
Molly Maid's the ones. You follow the Molly Maid truck around here, and those are the snowbirds getting ready to go north.
I don't know. I get advertisements from the Cleaning Authority and let's see, Good Job Pro.
Well, you get advertisements, but that don't mean anything. I think they use Molly Maid because that's the company that the developer uses. Just like Massey. They use a lot of people use Massey because that's the ones the developer uses. Same reason why we got the TV channel we got when we first moved here is because that's the one that the developer used.
Well, okay. Let's see. Vic says, "Yay, wrestler! There's 174 people here and only 71 likes." Yes, that's right. Give us that thumbs up, guys, just to let us know that you enjoy what we're doing.
This happens all the time. 5,000 views on a video, and I look at the likes, thumbs up button, and it's like 180. It's like, where's the rest of the people?
And Vic says he's missed porch sitting because Wednesday afternoon is his golf group play. Yeah, and we know that. We know
we
that.
don't care about that.
Yeah, and I've noticed that you were gone, Vic.
Yeah, golf comes first around here.
Yes.
Pickleball comes second. I'm not sure where I fall on this list. Probably at the bottom.
Well, yeah, when it comes to golf, yeah. Let's see.
Overjoy says, I have the same overdevelopment problem in South Florida. 1,800 new rental units and cannot widen the roads. New homes are being built 20 feet from the main crossroad.
Yeah.
In other words, 20 feet. That's closer than we are to that road right there.
And like I said, they're saying, this was a record year for people coming to Florida. And I said, they're going to continue as long as the boomers are retiring. It's going to continue for a while.
They say that, but actually I can debunk that somewhat. Remember years ago, what was the number one place down by Miami where all the retired people? Boca. And then what happened shortly after that? That whole town went broke. Well, and we could have bought a condo there for something like $65,000 because nobody wanted them. They were gone. Yeah. And the town went to hell in a handbasket.
If it's not in regard at that time.
But it is now. Now it's been taken care of. They built new things and so on and so forth. That could happen here.
It can, but they've got so much going here that the younger people want to be here.
Not necessarily.
That might not be, it might not be the case. But we still got a few years of baby boomers.
That's what I mean. As soon as the baby boomers stop, the question has always been, what happens to the house prices here when the over abundance of demand? We have a lot. They build 10 houses. They got 40 people wanting to buy them. What happens when they build 10 houses and there's only 2 people who want to buy them? I mean, I don't know. Hopefully I won't be around to know that.
Well, I don't think we will because I'm not. I think Jerry told us once when the baby boomer ended, but I can't remember when it was now. But we won't be around anyhow. Rose K says, just so you know, your show feels like sitting with friends. Other shows are shows, entertainment, big difference. Yeah, this is just us sitting on the porch.
I think that's what we wanted when we started doing this.
Yeah.
We've been doing this now. I was going through my videos last night trying to rearrange my list, and I found a porch setting where I was sitting right here with my cell phone like this, and it was all shaky. I think that was the first video. And I just happened to say, I'm just sitting out here doing some porch setting, and we're showing the neighborhood for a little while. And that video was probably over 3 years old. So we've been doing this for like 3 years.
I know. I wasn't on it at first because Wednesday was the day me and Deb went out.
And Wednesday is when we done Wednesday Night Live.
Yeah.
So Wednesday was a busy day.
Yeah. So like I said, but we're glad that you feel that way. And I said, we feel like so many of these people that we've had on here for 3, 4, 5 years. On some of the other shows we've had, and we feel like they're friends, family.
Yeah, and when you disappear, we notice.
Yeah, we do.
Wonder, did he die? We don't know.
That's true. Yeah.
Hi from Pacific Northwest.
Oh, and that's a good idea, Joyce. She said, why don't you pin the recipes into a recipe channel on Discord? I'm overjoyed.
First of all, I'm not sure what pin is.
Yeah, we're kind of technically challenged
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. She sounds like she knows a little bit more about it than I do. Now, if she can put the recipe on there, here's what I want you to tell me. If she types the recipe out, gives it to me maybe, or whatever, she types it on there, how do you pin it? Just tell me that. I know I've seen a pin button up there on my channel. Is that what you do? You just go where she puts the recipe in there, and at the very top where that little pin button is, just hit that pin button. Is it that simple?
I don't know. You have to ask somebody that
I'm
knows.
asking her now.
Yeah, you know me. Um, we'll look into that, Joy. That sounds, or overjoyed. I'm sorry. That sounds like something we might be able to do. And I said it'd
Well,
be
you have the
so
two
much
of them.
better than
You have to have the
sending.
Cherries Jubilee, which you tell me it ain't Cherries Jubilee, but that's what it's always been. I love it. I've had this thing for 50 years, Cherries Jubilee. 50 years of eating this twice a year, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Maybe on my birthday once in a while, but I don't care about birthdays.
And Valentine's Day this year, and
Now all of a sudden,
usually Easter.
now
And
all of a
yeah,
sudden I'm being told, oh, that's not Cherries Jubilee. After 50 years of being Cherries Jubilee, now I'm being told it's cheesecake.
no,
What?
no.
You said the other day you said cheesecake. I said
Well, that's
cheesecake.
basically what is a cherry
You said it in the
cheesecake.
kitchen. You said something about cheesecake when Judy was here, and I said cheesecake,
It's
and you said yeah,
it's a
Cherries
cherry
Jubilee.
cheesecake. Basically what it is. Jubilee is nothing
This is
like
how
that.
my mind gets confused. I know what Cherries Jubilee is. My mom did the same thing when she eats up bell peppers. It was called mangoes, mangoes, mangoes. That's all I knew.
Well, and your mom gave me the recipe, so
Now Cherries Jubilee is cheesecake, cheesecake, cheesecake.
it's always been cherry delight. I don't know where you got the Jubilee at.
It's
Other
always
than
been that.
no, it's always cherry Jubilee is a big dessert. I mean that people know, but I have never called it that. You have. Your mother never called it that.
Mom never
But
made it.
that's how I learned to make it.
No, you made it. Mom
Well, I
always
make
made
it my
chicken.
way,
Mom always made chicken and noodles.
but she also made the cherry delight. Nice.
I don't
Yeah,
think so.
yeah.
I don't think so.
And she made this salad. I think it's ambrosia salad, but I'm not sure.
Mom
But I
made a
really,
salad that
really,
had marshmallows in it, sliced grapes, sliced apples,
yeah,
and maybe some celery was in it also. I don't even know what all was in there, but it was good.
yeah.
I
It was
liked it.
really, really good. I like that too, and I don't have a recipe for that, so I'm always looking. When I find one, I try it out, and that's not quite it. So,
Yeah.
but
And
yeah,
wasn't there some kind of a cream or something in there? I remember when you put it on a plate, there was like some kind of a
yes,
creaminess
yes,
to it.
yes, yes. And
Yeah, I missed that. Make that.
well, I said if I figure out how exactly it's made, I said I've tried it a couple times. It wasn't the same.
Uh,
But yeah, I'll figure it out eventually. Um, Jerry Harris says, Kathy B in the 603, the trolley will take you to the Street of Dreams to see only 7 houses, and you don't get to pick which miles. Oh, well, that's kind of a downer.
well, down there when they were building Finney, see, they change things all the time. That's why I can't sometimes give you a decisive answer to a question because what they did here, what they did in Finney, I'm already finding out that that's not necessarily what they're doing down in
Right.
Dabney and these other areas. They had, it was called the Street of Dreams. And certain hours, like from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., there was an hour thing there. And people all told us about it.
Mm-hmm.
That they could walk down this, and these houses were all open. There was always a realtor around, and you could go in these houses. They were all decorated inside, couches, chairs, all this stuff. And you could walk in all these houses, and you could look and see if this is what you are interested in. And then they have a paper in there telling you the base price of the house, of course, depending on the lot you put it on, that kind of thing. And I told Sue, I said, damn, I wish they'd have done that here because then I could say I want that house, you know, but they didn't. Well, they did there. Now you're telling me they don't do that anymore. Now they don't open all the houses anymore.
Well, that's what she's saying, that if you take the trolley tour, there's only 7 that they're open. Now, I think if you go down with a realtor, maybe it's different, but on the
But some
trolley
people
tour.
they're wanting to look. They don't really want to, they think a realtor is going to bug them about buying a house. And I understand that.
And I had somebody ask me the other day, and I said, no, it's no pressure
Well,
if you've got a village realtor.
once again, I'm going to say when we bought, that was their rule, number one rule for their village realtors. No other realtor. I can't speak for them. The village real estate company, no pressure. And I can tell you when we bought, that's exactly true. They didn't care whether you bought that house or not because he had a black book with a bunch of names on it that if you didn't buy it, he's making phone calls. By the night, this house will be gone.
And then I said, he had all the answers. If you had questions, they had all the answers, but they didn't pressure you about buying. Now, somebody told me that now they're big on taking you to the new sections because that's where they're selling right now.
Mhm.
And so instead of taking you to some of the older areas like up here, they're trying to push you that direction. I don't know if that's the case. Like I said, we've not been in the market for a while,
No.
so but
I do know the Villages has pre-owned homes for sale.
yeah,
So I'm sure they're more than glad to sell you anything. They're going to get the commission.
yeah.
I'm sure they'd rather sell you a new home. But you can buy pre-owned homes down there too. It doesn't make no difference.
Yeah. James Reeves says hurricane insurance for my home on the coast of North Carolina is $17,000 this year. Wow.
A year?
A year.
Good Lord, that I don't make that much with my Social Security.
He probably has a buck or two.
No.
But anyhow, 17,000 just for insurance. Wow. Yeah, it's getting bad anywhere. If you're anywhere around the water, they're blaming the hurricane season, but they were also blaming roofers, and they've had 2 or 3 excuses for these price changes. And I said I don't buy any of them necessarily, but yeah, that's a lot. I mean, I don't know if you must have a really big house.
I think a lot of these companies, like say Exxon Oil, over the years they figured out how to manipulate the system to where everybody pays the price no matter where you're at. Used to we had gas prices. They had wars.
Oh yeah, God, I remember gas wars.
Yeah, that's gone.
Yeah.
And used to you could get you had a choice. Pay a nickel a gallon more to get your gas pumped by a tenant, or you could pump it over here by yourself. Now you really don't have a choice.
Yeah. There is one state that doesn't do self-service.
Oregon don't allow you to pump your gas.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Jersey.
There's other states too. I think New Jersey's one. There's like 3 or 4 states now saying you can't pump. It's a liability thing because people do stupid shit. I see it all the time. A guy will be pumping gas standing there smoking a cigarette. Like it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Oh, and Rizzo says they're going to the American Legion for St. Patty's dinner. Well, I hope it's good.
Which one? Over here?
No, they're selling the keys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
I've been to the American Legion over here a couple, 3 times. It's a nice place. I like it.
Yeah. Let's see. Overjoyed. Kathy being 603. Yeah, as attractive as the new home prices are, I don't want to feel isolated, especially if people are just buying these homes to rent, would rather live in a community. Well, they're not all buying them just to rent. A lot of people are coming down here and they're just overjoyed about the prices that they're getting in the new area because they are bringing the prices down considerable from what some of the other areas are. But you buy what you can live with. If you want to be around a lot of people, a lot of entertainment, a lot of activities and things like that, yeah, probably for the next 5 years, not the best place. But I don't know that. I know that they build this stuff really quick. So as far as getting amenities and entertainment and stuff like that, like I said, that might be a little bit farther down the pipe. So if you want to be around all the other stuff, and if you're like us, we don't figure we're going to live long enough for them to get a lot built in down there, then yeah, you want to be somewhere else. But the prices are really doable.
Well, the renting problem is something that you can't really predict either. You can buy a new home anywhere.
Yeah.
And the guy next door to you buy the house and decide to rent it out. They tried to curb that, especially if they're financed. The bank started making you sign a paper saying that you don't intend to rent this house out. Because if you rent a house out, it's a higher interest rate. Everything's different. Mm-hmm. Renter's insurance, so on and so forth. But, yeah, they tried to curb that, but people did it anyway. I don't know if they still do it or not. It's just something you don't know. I just like people to know that if you're an investor and you want to rent property out, that more patio villas are probably bought for rental income than probably any other house. There's more of them. You go to the Villagers Homes, both with an S, right? Villagers with an S, Homes with an S, 4 number rent.com. And there's a whole list of homes there that you can rent. Right. And just look at the amount of patios compared to anything else. There's just a lot.
Kathy B says, if there's a porch sitting on March 27th, I'd like to stop by. I'll send Skip an email to get your address. Next Wednesday, I'll be in St. Augustine. Okay. Sure.
Is 24th on a Wednesday?
27th.
Is that a Wednesday?
Yeah.
Well, just make sure. So people sometimes make this stuff up. They don't listen to what we say.
No, I've got my calendar already marked, so yes, it's a Wednesday. But yeah, we'd love to have you stop by, honey. And love St. Augustine. It's just, I've took a couple bus trips to St. Augustine, and like I said, I love St. Augustine, but it's a long ride, and there's only so much you can see. So.
In St. Augustine?
Yeah, I would like to go do an overnight there, and so I could really, because we've been there several times ourselves, but not on these bus trips. I love these bus trips, but on the bus trip, like I said, it takes so long to get over there and so long to get back that you really don't have but a few hours there, and there's just so much to see.
And bus trips almost make me sick.
Well, like I said, but I love them.
Every time we take a bus trip, that's why I quit doing them. I don't know how it works out. Every time we go on a bus trip, for some reason, the bus is completely full of people, and the only place for us to sit is in the very back of the bus. The back of the bus is like being on a sailboat.
That's like standing in line.
I don't like doing that either.
You know who gets the front seats? The people that get there early.
The last one to pick us up was right here by my house. She parked right there. We walked over there to get in the bus. And where did we sit? We went to see Jeff Dunham.
I know, because there was...
What? I didn't walk over there fast enough?
There was 100 people in front of you.
Where were they standing?
Oh, my God. Anyhow.
No, I don't fall for that. I think they go around, pick up. You're last.
Yeah, and Rizzo says he decided to self-insure for the hurricane insurance on their Keystone. Yeah, that, after a while, that's kind of your option because it's just getting ridiculous. And I'm hoping it doesn't spread. Ours went up this year, but only went up 400. But I am thinking of changing insurance anyhow, but not for that reason.
Hi, Jerry.
The reason I'm thinking of changing is because of the amount that they're insuring it for.
Saying hi to Jerry Harris. I don't know who that is. I think it's somebody new. Jerry Harris.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it says hi, Yvette, or he's not talking to me at all.
Nick says we were invited to a renters Facebook group. They are all upset with flood of homes during driving rents down. Yeah, there's just so many of them because a lot of people that aren't ready to retire yet, they're buying them because they're afraid they're not going to get in here. Well, they're going to get in here for the next 10 years. So you don't have to worry about having to buy really quick. But a lot of people are doing that. They're buying them now, and that way they can
Bill B's here.
Off of them. Hey, Uncle Bill.
But he bought some fudge.
That way they can make the money off of them. He said he was
soaking his nuts the other day.
Oh, yeah. That way they can buy where they want, and they have the money of the rental to kind of secure the house until they're able to retire and come down here. So they're getting an awful lot of rentals. So.
Hey, Phil, you've been soaking your nuts? 10-second delay from here to there. I thought I guess not. Did you bring us some fudge?
What?
You bring fudge?
No, I'm still cooking my nuts.
Oh.
Oh my goodness! I had some more yesterday. I just slice off a little bit at a time, but it's so good. This guy wants you to elaborate on the changes of how they sell homes. And I said it was one of those where you can, in a certain area, you buy the lot and picked out a house that you want built. In this area, we're all pre-built homes. So every time
not only that, they only sold 3 at a time.
Right.
And they wouldn't put any other house up for sale.
Oh,
what's that?
Goodness.
What do we got?
He brought Olive Garden.
Holy crap, Phil. What'd you bring all this for? What's that red stuff down there?
Yeah, you better check that out. Life is short.
It is short. I don't know what that is.
It looks like strawberries and syrup.
Yeah, that's like strawberries and syrup.
Well, that's very cool. Very cool. Very cool.
What are you out at to today?
Grab a chair and sit down.
That was it. I've been watching y'all and watching my nuts soak.
What kind of nuts are we soaking?
Kirschwasser brandy, which reserve bourbon, and Myers dark rum.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to put in the fudge?
Well, 3 separate batches.
Okay. You sending Jerry any?
Awesome.
If you don't send Jerry some, he'll start whining and crying on Discord. And...
Jerry gave me a 175 bottle of Wildwood Reserve.
So he wants it made out of that?
What's that?
He wants it made out of that?
Well, he apparently liked that, but he had enough consideration to bring me some. So.
So I got a couple bottles of that. I think, who was it? Ford guy, I think, brought me one of those. And didn't JC, isn't that what he had? Or was his something different?
Me, I drink beer.
Wow.
I will drink a mixed drink, but I've told everybody. I said if you're going to,
Oh, what now?
there's both of them. See, and notice how they're walking. See how they're sticking their head up there like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
That's kind of a mating dance that they're doing right
Really?
there. She's saying now. He's saying yes. She's saying no, not now. He's saying why not? She said I'm not ready yet.
Oh, you've been
Yeah.
in the room too
I
long.
can talk for them. Notice how I'll tell you what, look at the red spot on the top of their head. See how bright red it is now?
Yeah.
That's the mating collar. See him walking over there? He's walking. He said, I want some of that.
That's what I said. They've had the baby with them. And,
No, they chased the baby out.
Well, I said the baby's on its own now.
Or ate him.
No, he's walking around on his own, which is very unusual. You don't ever see him, by themselves. But he's looking for a mate right now, evidently, because he got old enough. But yeah, I'd seen him with them for so long, and he got as big as they are. So it was time for him to do that. So.
Yeah.
Overjoyed it reaches 121 every day at 5:30 on my balcony, west facing. Yes, that's one of those things where that's something that you need to take into consideration is which side your lanai is on and where the sun's going to come up and go down. And that's why I said my neighbor that her house faces a different direction. I said they don't have the lanai enclosed. They don't need it because the rain doesn't go in their lanai. And when they put the front porch on, they couldn't put an awning on for one because it would sit too low, so they couldn't put it on. But they had the porch put on, and they put up table and chairs out there. But because of the way their house sits, they don't get all the sun. So they're good with that. They go out in the evening and sit in the evening. So, but
we didn't really pay attention to that, but I think we got kind of a little bit on the lucky side.
Mm-hmm.
Who's that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see.
Debbie.
Well, the birds are out in the street.
Oh yeah, she's going around.
Yeah, I see what she's doing. Those are like our neighborhood cranes. I swear, I think they live here.
Yeah, Kathy B in the 603 says, Vic, what rents are going down? You can barely get a rental for less than $5,000 during the high season. That's true during the high season. They're $4,000 and $5,000.
Surely not for a patio villa. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't kept up with it.
Yeah, it depends on where you're renting.
How much are they?
I said stop calling me Shirley.
Okay.
Surely not. Surely so.
Overjoyed says you couldn't find an old rundown manufactured home for much less than 190 in the village. That's right.
I know. So that person that said that they wouldn't pay, but what did she say for Judy's house? 140.
I thought that was just being
I think
funny.
that was a joke because there was a bottom line to that saying, I wouldn't pay much more than 148 US dollars for that, or 180 Biden dollars, or something like that.
Well, anyhow,
it was a joke.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny.
Jerry Harris says whoever said they wouldn't pay over 140 has no clue what they're talking about, and I wouldn't want them living next to me. Just my opinion. I'm with you, Jerry. I think that's somebody that's probably out of the area. Not to say that it's not. That's a regular price. Things here are higher. They just are because of the lifestyle here. And I said that's what people want is the lifestyle, so they're willing to pay that. Once they're not willing to pay that, then you'll see the prices come down. And I said, I've seen 2 or 3 different things this morning about them asking the powers to be not to drop the interest rates yet. One of them was Jamie Dimon, which he runs J.P. Morgan Chase. And I think the man's a genius. I really do. But he was one of those saying that he hoped that they didn't come down on the interest rates yet, even though everything's kind of on an even keel now. And I understood his reasoning. And I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I think they're going to hold them steady right now. But yeah, that person, like I said, has to be out of the area because they would know that you couldn't find anything in here for that much, even a manufactured home.
Price of homes are all over the place around this country. I mean, what it costs here, if you're going to compare the price of homes in the back hills of Kentucky, so to speak, to the price of homes here, you're way out of the ballpark.
Yeah. And Overjoyed said the lowest price I saw in Dabney was $209 for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. Yes.
For a 1-bedroom, 1-bath?
Yes.
Wow.
And
a garage? Do they have a garage?
Oh,
some don't have a garage.
Usually the 1-bedroom, 1-bath has a carport.
For $209?
Yeah.
Wow, that seems
but
like
they may have, they may have a garage. Yeah.
Mm.
Susan Ray Norton says, "Hi, y'all. Well, hey, Susan. Glad you could join us.
You know,
Um,
when the price of them homes down there get really high, our homes are going to look better and better for somebody to buy.
but that's just it. Will be like they're doing over in Spanish Springs. Everybody will be remodeling. Come up to the standards.
Well, somebody says something about that, and you know, we looked at a bunch of pre-owned homes that I would have been interested in buying, but yeah, the mauve carpeting and
Yeah,
the pink cabinetry and
yeah,
that kind of thing.
yeah,
Well, you bought your house. First thing you done, you changed the tile in the kitchen, wasn't it?
all over the house.
All over the house.
It out, put in
Yeah.
new stone tile.
yeah.
So we tell people, you know, if you're going to buy one like that, just keep all that in mind, you know, when you go to put in that offer on a pre-owned home.
And
Oh,
my new golf cart.
And you bought a new golf cart.
oh,
You
oh,
got to
and
get one of them.
John Keller says Christopher Villas. That's where they're doing
Yeah,
the
that's it,
lifestyle.
Christopher
Yeah,
Ellis. We
yeah.
done a video there.
And Junebug says it's like a faucet gets turned on full blast. She's referring to the rain. When it does rain here, it's like a sheet of rain. It's not raindrops most of
But
the
even
time
that's kind
in
of
the
weird
summer.
anymore. We've gotten so big. I've talked to Phil where it was just raining like crazy, and Phil says nothing going on up here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Any particular area more sinkhole prone than others?
I haven't heard of any.
We're in Central Florida, honey, so everything can be prone to sinkholes. But there's a few places up north I wouldn't be in myself, and that's just me. Nothing that proves any different. Um,
The whole state is sandstone and limestone.
that's what I said, and the central portion especially is very prone to that, no matter where you're at.
I was told by a realtor years ago that there was a Florida law under real estate that if your land touches another piece of land that had a sinkhole on it, the disclosure on your property that's for sale has to disclose that there was a sinkhole over here.
Mm.
Uh, who enforces that? I don't know.
William says if she got lightning rods, why not thunder mufflers too?
Thunder mufflers. What's that?
Lightning rods
And thunder mufflers.
and thunder mufflers.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, the other day last time we had a storm on
We
Betty.
had a lady that works at UPS. We used to call her Thunder Thighs.
Well, Betty was not keen on the storm we had it was somewhere last week, and it was early morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And like I said, the thunder really got to him. Like, that scared him. But then I took him out in the living room and give him a treat. Didn't notice it after that.
Jerry Harris says they changed the 30-year bond to 31 years on the new patio villas. I didn't know that.
I did not know that either. Well, we're learning something new every day.
Why 31? That's an odd number.
Yeah.
Just stretches it out and lowers the amount.
So the bond is $38,000 on a patio villa. Whew, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Wonder what they're paying for that property down there.
Yeah. The whole state of Florida is a sinkhole waiting to happen. That's right. And I said, that's just the way it is. You know?
So the one bedroom had a 1-car garage.
Okay. Yeah, I know some of them do. And I said, but some of them have carports. But yeah, 209 for a 1-bedroom, 1 bath. You know, I guess if you was on your own, it wouldn't matter. Especially if, like I said, you were here for the lifestyle and not particularly anything else, then it wouldn't really matter.
I hate this guy. We used to have a quiet neighborhood here until he moved in.
Oh, for God's sake, he's not run.
No, he's not, but still, I heard him coming a mile away.
Well,
Anyway, Overjoyed says, what were they thinking about pink and turquoise countertops? Well, Overjoyed, truthfully, back in the day, I can remember mauve carpeting and stuff was the in thing. My mom and dad had it. We had it at one of our houses. We had mauve carpeting put in. And the mauve countertops, or the kind of like gray cabinetry with the like kind of a pinkish tint on the edges and things.
yeah.
That was the thing back then.
Yeah, it's
Just
just like
what you're looking at today as being the in thing, I guarantee you 20 years from now, people's going to look at this going, what were they thinking?
yeah, how long do you think it'll be before people get rid of the stainless steel? You know, before appliances were white, and then they were the green and gold, and
I think
now
we had all of them.
everybody's into the stainless steel. How long do you think that's going to last? There'll be something new coming up. I seen them in the stores now where they have the colored glass sheets that covers the front, and you can change the glass to different colors. So
The thing that I think it's remarkable on refrigerators is because Donnie got one, if you remember, right up north. He was showing it to me. The smart refrigerators now, it's got the screen on the front where you poke stuff in it and whatever you do to it. I think you can even watch TV on it. I said, my God, how much does a refrigerator like this cost? He said, well, this one was $12,000. $12,000 for a refrigerator. Holy crap.
you know,
Not walking probably. So
you don't know what we paid for ours.
I paid that for my golf cart.
Marty G says Wildwood promotes the town square because it is funded by taxpayers. It is not exclusively for the villages. No, it's not. The town squares are open to the public.
Yeah.
And so, they do promote it. The problem with a lot of that is they're causing people to use the golf cart trails, which that's not public.
No.
But once they get in here, if you get in here with a golf cart, then you can use any of the golf cart trails. And I said that's not necessarily kosher. But yeah, it's right for the city to promote it because
I never said that anybody was doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just simply letting people know, in my opinion, this is going to be the downfall of the villages being a retirement community, and I don't feel it is much of a retirement community anymore because of all the building that's going on around the outside of the villages. And what's happening here is the reason why Walt Disney left California and started Disney World, because of the encroachments on the outside.
Yeah.
You can Google that and find out history. And here,
yeah, and for a long time we had that safety net around us. We don't have that anymore. I don't know what the deal was, but different generation, and we don't have that buffer zone that we always had before.
well, you don't have the buffer zone with mommy and daddy bringing in all their juvenile delinquents.
and there's another problem. The one that we've been talking about for 2 or 3 months now, where he's a hoarder and he's been going around on garbage day and picking up stuff on people's driveways and putting it in her house. He's a druggie. Everybody knows he's a druggie. Well, Grandma is getting ready to go to jail because she's been out of compliance. He's the one causing it, not her. She's going to pay the price because she's the property owner. Well, his name was in the paper today, and his picture was in the paper today, where she finally called the Sumter County Police on her own son living in her house because of all the drug paraphernalia. They went in there and found numerous needles full of heroin, methamphetamine, so on and so forth, and so they arrested him. Now,
Making the villages better,
Well,
one eviction and one conviction at a time.
yeah, I think what happened was, the rest of the story was, over a period of time, and apparently she found this out, he drained her bank account. He got her checks and and he was putting that money in some kind of a card, some kind of I don't even know what card, that she does not have access to. And apparently she's asked for that money back and he won't give it to her. So now I think he's in jail.
Oh, good for him.
I hope he stays there.
Jerry Harris says Brownwood Design Center will turn into corporate office per Gold Wing Nut. Yeah, I thought that's probably what they would do with it because they build the building as they're making their plans when they build these towns. They build the building and then they find a use for it. And that's what I think now that they're going back to the Street of Dreams, they had that building and so they're moving the corporate offices there because they didn't want to leave it empty. Used to they did. For a long time they left buildings down in Brownwood, they left them empty. I think they finally got them all filled. I'm not sure, but I think finally all of them are filled between restaurants and doctors' offices, and they don't have that much retail as far as I'm concerned in Brownwood. I would like to see more retail stores there, but yeah,
Well, the good retail stores they had at Lake Sumter are the ones that I thought were fairly decent. They're gone. The Purple Pig was one. I liked it.
Yeah.
No, it's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
and what's the one where I got my shirts?
Izod.
Izod. It's gone too.
And we had the Izod Van Heusen here, and it's gone. They put a mattress store in up there where that was. But that's what I wish we had a little bit more retail here. But we've got malls all the way around us. I mean, big stores and stuff like that all the way around us. So it really doesn't matter. But it's just nice and convenient. If I go up to the farmer's market on Saturday, that they pop in a store and see what they got going. And I said they do have some up there. I just don't think they have enough.
As long as you got bells, what else do you need?
Well, they got a lot of stores on the outside, and I said, so I can go to them. But I said, he's always saying stuff about wanting to take the golf cart and that kind of thing. Well, some of them are out of golf cart range. So,
It wouldn't make any difference if they was.
well, no, it
You
wouldn't.
take the car to the postal station, which is 5 blocks down the road. You won't even take the golf cart down there
I do, because I never know what's going to be in the postal
because it
station.
messes up your hair.
Oh, boy. I mean, look
She
at the
says
hair.
that, but that's the truth.
I got the old lady hair now, with the Amish hair.
Where are you going?
I'm going to take off.
It's
I can't do that much anymore. Those middle fingers.
Oh, it's 2 o'clock.
Your dessert's
Oh, it is?
Ah.
your dessert's getting warm and your pasta's getting
Oh,
cold.
thank you, Phil.
Okay.
You're something else,
We're going to have to get ready to go.
Yeah. When
So-
are we going to Tarpon Springs?
Probably after I get back from Texas sometime in mid to late April
Okay.
after the eclipse.
Okie doke.
I'll be under the full eclipse.
Are we going to Tarpon Springs, are we?
Yes. We're going to
Okay.
take a road trip.
Camera.
Okay.
Thanks, Phil.
You're welcome. See you on the other side.
See you on the other side.
When is the moon the heaviest?
I don't know.
When it's full. Anybody wants this magazine? Nobody wanted it last week, so I'll try it this week. If you
Really?
want- yeah. I got nothing last week. It's the new Villages magazine for March.
It's the golf edition.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
First one that emails me, let me know. And she's going to go over to the post office sometime, she said today or maybe tomorrow, and I'll get that packed up and she can drop it off while she's over there. Just let me know. She's got some announcements, I think, to make. And then after that, we're going to say goodbye. Before we go, I want to say thanks to all the moderators. Thanks to Phil for bringing lunch or whatever he brought here. He's always bringing us stuff. And everybody that showed up, the moderators, the YouTube members, I appreciate all of you. And Patreon members and those of you that joined. You guys are the reason why we can keep the news going because it's so much work.
Yeah. Thank you. I only had a couple things here. Because of this being the St. Patty's Day weekend, the Scale Model Expo is Saturday at Lake Okahumpka. Recreation is from 1 to 3:30. And I thought that might be interesting. I mean, I've not seen some of the stuff that they make, so that might be something that's interesting. And then this parade at Spanish Springs is at 3 o'clock. And the festival starts from 3 to 9 on Sunday. But Thursday and Friday is when they have the St. Patty festivity at Lake Sumter. And an added addition to that, I said Lake Sumter is the 14th and 15th from 4 to 9. But they also have a some kind of event at Sawgrass this year for St. Patty's Day. Don't know what didn't elaborate what was going on there, but they're having some kind of a bash at Sawgrass Grove. So that's something that's new. The Squares music tonight is Spanish Spring Street Talk. Sumter is Blonde Ambition. Brownwood is Fancy Regan. Sawgrass is Stella Acoustic. McGrady's is Charlie Cox. Tierra del Sol is Butch O'Brien. And Edna's is John Johnson. And the Spring Pottery Sale is Friday, March 15th from 9 to 1:30 at Seabreeze. And that's about all she wrote. Good to see y'all. Come see us next Wednesday. We'll be here. See you on the other side.
See y'all next week. Friday news. Don't forget. Patreon. Friday's bloopers. How do I shut this thing off? Here it is.